Greetings all, and welcome back to Globit's Gaming Channel 2015. This is my fourth attempt to make this damn video, or at least this intro. I just seem to keep sneezing. I think I am going down with man flu. Anyway, one of my most popular videos, the purpose of today's video, one of my most popular videos was my how-to on the M103. Up to now it's got over, I think it's 4,000 views. Closely followed by my jingles video and etc, etc, etc. Now, review video. The first one I'm going to start with is a tank that's quite dear to my heart. Okay, the Luchs. Alright, the little Luchs. The baby Luchs. The Panzerkampfwagen 2. Alright, little baby dinky toy like this thing is. Okay, right, now, why am I doing light tanks first? Well, I'm hopefully going to start breaking a little bit of a chain. Light tanks are one of the best assets of a team. Alright, but they're one of the most underestimated and one of the most poorly used assets in the team. Everyone knows how to play heavy tanks. Alright, you charge forward to the nearest building, stand on the corner and shoot things till they die. Medium tanks. Scoot round the side of that said tank and kill it with fire in the sides. Light tanks, well, they just seem to charge off and get killed in the first 5 minutes of the game, which isn't what they're supposed to be used for. However, everybody does target light tanks. They seem to prioritise them because they're easy to kill. So, before we go any further then, I'm going to do two vehicles in one replay. That's right, ladies and gents, you're getting 2 for 1. I'm going to do the Luchs and the Leopard. 2 reasons. They're basically the same freaking tank. Alright, and they lead directly on from each other. So, to get to this Luchs then, it's tier 4. So you have to go through the LOL tractor, Panzer 1, or you can go Panzer 2, Panzer 2G. Go through this tank though. Go through the Panzer 1C first. Panzer 1's not so great. Panzer 1C is hilarious. And then you get to your Luchs. And then your Leopard. And it leads on, guys, to the RU-251, the Indian Panzer, Leopard PTA, and eventually the very powerful Leopard 1. Along this line, you do have a few turds. Yeah, the Aufklärungspanzer, it's not that great. All right, people will disagree with me, but I think it's shit until I play it. And you get the VK, which is very useful for strongholds. We do have a player, I think it's Iceman, uses a VK2801 in strongholds. So it's not a very good, but not very bad line, really. All right, there are some better lines, but that was probably, yeah, I like it. You've got a choice, though, to get to the Leopard. You can either go through the Panzer 2, Panzer 3, through the VK series, or you can go down the light line. Now, I think you'll have more fun on the light line. So, go to your Panzer 1C. That thing's just a whole passel of fun. I may do a review on that later. This thing, though, this is where things start to get serious. Okay, if you're going in with this thing, you're going to be seeing tier 7s. Okay, you're going to have to behave yourself. Panzer 1C, just give 0 shits and go balls deep. This thing, you have to behave yourself, otherwise you will die in the early stages of the game. So, it's a scout tank, or a light tank. It's got 340 hit points. Yes, it will have all kinds of problems if it gets hit with things like SU-100s, KV-85s, T-29s, things like that. They will absolutely wreck this vehicle if they hit you. So you need to behave yourself. It doesn't weigh very much, okay, which means it's fast. The weight can be a problem if you hit things. Try not to actually hit stuff. Try not to ram into things when you're scooting around. You have to be quite careful and clever when you're driving, guys, when you're driving this thing. Don't let the enemy tanks ram you, because they will seriously hurt you. Top speed, however, with a 360 horsepower engine, gives it around about 27 horsepower per ton, I think, which means it can get to 60 kph quite easily, and it maintains speed on terrain. Alright, the soft stats on the tracks are pretty good as well. It does maintain quite a good amount of speed on rough and soft ground. Not a great traverse speed, but it is enough to do power slides. Hopefully I'll demonstrate that in the video. If I remember the video correctly, I will demonstrate power sliding. And the armour is, well, if you're getting shot at by other light tanks, it's not too bad. You won't survive hits from heavies and tank destroyers, though. You'll just get annihilated. The armour isn't the point of light tanks. However, considering some light tanks, I mean, the ELC, for example, has got no armour whatsoever. This thing's got 50mm at the front of the turret. It is quite good. You do have a choice of 2 turrets on this thing. You have the Luchs 2cm and the Luchs 5cm. If you want to fit the 5cm guns, you have to use this turret. Now, I use this turret anyway. There's an argument for and against. Alright? The baby turret has a faster traverse speed of 42 degrees rather than 38 degrees. But you get less view range. I don't like that 30 metres less view range, personally. It's up to you, though. There's arguments for and against. I mean, I'll just fit this turret. Show what it looks like. Yeah, that just looks daft. It just looks silly. But aside of looking silly, I mean, I do believe, yeah, you get less ammunition in the gun, alright, and a slightly shorter aiming time. You get more bullets in the gun if you do this, look. Alright, you get So you get 10 shells in the magazine with the 5cm turret, and you get 8 shells in the magazine with the 2cm turret. So you get more bullets, more DPM, slightly better armor. You are slightly slower, but comments below about the differences in the turret. I don't really care. I just like the look of this turret. I'm all for aesthetics. Anyway, we digress. Guns we'll come on to in a minute, and turret traverse we've already covered. View range, I've gone for binos with this thing. The simple reason is I don't want to spend 250,000 credits on optics. 360 meter view range at tier 4 is pretty good. It's more than enough to spot your KV series Russians. And if you're sitting in a bush in the early stages of the game and you put your binos up, you've got 459 meter view range anyway, which is more than enough. So, signal range is quite naff. 455 meters is not very good. 485 with my crew. It's not that good. Which basically this means if you're on a 1,000 meter map and you're down in the artillery's down in this corner and you're in this corner, they won't be able to see what you're shooting at. But all the other tanks will. I don't care about artillery. Alright, anyway, they're more of a danger to you than they are the enemy at the end of the game anyway. Alright, and also you get these little dinky smoke launcher things that look like horns, which is pretty funky as well. You don't get those with the other turret. You've got to have your smoke launchers. I wish Wargame would introduce smoke. It'd be amazing. Anyway, the guns. You do get quite a big choice of guns on the Luchs. Alright, let me just have a look at the tech tree. Yoink. Let's have a look at the tech tree. Hell of a lot of guns. Don't bother with these 5cm. Alright, we'll come on to those in a minute. The only gun you want, ladies and gentlemen, is this 5cm MK103. Alright, I'll tell you for why. Your top 5cm, which is the gun that most people go for. They rush to get this gun, and it's shit. Alright? This gun is, well, it's not great, but it's better than this one. I'll tell you why. It's an auto-loader, which is more fun anyway. You get more shells. 10 shells in the magazine, 18-second loading time. So it takes 20 seconds in between loads. But it's the penetration for me. Okay, it's the penetration that wins this gun over this one. Unless you're going to be banging gold ammo through the 5cm. If you're going to bang gold ammo through the 5cm, go for this one all day. But you're not going to make a profit. Alright. 95mm pen on standard ammo as opposed to 67mm pen. Right. This gun will go through the back and the sides of KV-1s all day. This one won't. Alright, this one will bounce more than it pens. And it only does 70 damage. If you do the maths, a KV-1 has approximately, I think it was about 560 health, I think, off the top of my head. It's about 500 health. You're going to have to shoot it quite a lot. I mean, it's a good rate of fire, don't get me wrong. But this thing can do 300 damage burst every 20 seconds. Because you're not going to be sat there, think about how you're going to play the light tank. You're not going to be sat there trading with the KV-1. You're going to burst, you're going to pop out, spend no more than 10, well, maybe 2 seconds sat in there, blatting off all your ammo, doing hopefully 300 damage, scooting away and disappearing, not allowing him to fire back. And also as well, this gun weighs a hell of a lot more than this. You're carrying an extra 600 kilos, which means you're going to be slower. But yeah, just for me, the 3cm gun is the way forward. Alright, unless you're going to be banging gold ammunition through the 5cm, which you've got to be richer than me to do that. Okay, it's the same story on the Leopard. Alright, the Leopard is pretty much the same story. Okay, it's pretty much the same tank. Alright, it does the same job, just a tier higher. Alright, just have a quick look at the tech tree. It's only got a choice of 3 guns though. Go for the 3cm. Don't go for this one. Same reasons. Alright, it's slightly better on the Leopard. It's slightly faster firing, but oh my word, just go for this one. You get 12 shells in this one as well. You get more ammunition. Alright, same pen. But you will see a tier 8s. You will see tier 8s, and you really do have to play the game when you're playing the Leopard. I'm going to give you an example of this, of a couple of guys from my clan doing really, really well in Leopards. Alright. Stats are slightly better on the Leopard. It's got more health, it's heavier, slightly slower engine. Same top speed though. Must have better soft stats. Slightly faster traverse. Alright, it's just generally a better tank. The signal range is better, the view range is better. It's just a better vehicle. Because it's a tier higher. It's the same story. It carries more ammunition. And to be honest with you, apart from the binos, I pretty much carry the same equipment. Alright. So that's basically the garage review. Let's get on to the games, guys. Let's get on to the games. Okay, first tank into the grindstone then. The baby Luchs. Now, hopefully, technology allowing, this video will be uploaded at 60 frames per second. Whether or not YouTube lets me do that or my editing software works remains to be seen. But hopefully this will be coming to you at 60 frames per second. If not, then They just happen as they are. My replays just tend to be very jumpy, though. I don't know why. It might just be me. Anyway, the Luchs. First part of the game, then. What you need to be doing is strategies in light tanks. Early spots. Okay, we're on mines. I'm in a platoon. I have a tank destroyer and a medium tank, Connor and Skippy. Alright, and I'm basically going to go spot the hill. Alright, trying my best to try and get up there. It's very, very jumpy. I don't know why. Reload time on this thing is around about 16 seconds for me, I believe. Unless I'm very much mistaken. Just time it on the thing. More like 17 seconds. Alright, cool. So, up to the hill. Will I make it? Now, whenever I'm on this map, I always look at the enemy team. Okay, let me just change the doohickeys to the enemy tanks. Alright, as per requested. We've got a Stuart, a Cromwell, who's made it there first. Okay, the Cromwells are very good. Alright, I do not want to get mixed up with him. So, discretion is always the better part of valour. Let's get the hell out of here. I could do a burst into him, but I'm not going to kill him. Alright, and therefore he's just going to absolutely wreck me and take all my health away. I've only got 340 health. So, I decide to choose a different flank. Get myself into cover from the Cromwell. Alright, and shoot the Stuart. Okay, take a little bit of damage from him. 124 damage, which is a significant portion of his health. Oh, a wounded M6. Somebody finishes off the Stuart there for me, and a wounded M6 now. Got to wait for the reload, got to wait for the reload. Jink out, he's not even spotted me. If the T1 Heavy hadn't killed him, I would have got him there. No doubt about it. Side of an M6, more than capable of going through it with this autocannon. So, other flank then. The middle's a no-go. There's nobody on this flank, so let's do some spotting. And we spot a Hellcat. Oh, Christ. Now, on the comms now, and I'm telling Skippy, can you hit that guy? Skippy's like, yes, I can. Just give me a second. Let me come round. I'm like, okay, and donk. Ow. Bounce into a Cromwell. Wasn't looking where I was going. And as you can see there, Skippy slaps a shell into him. And a couple of the other people on the team also take the Hellcat down for a sniffing amount of his health as well. I look through the bush and decide just to go for the Hellcat. There will be tank destroyers on the hill, but this is where your speed comes in. Alright, and this is an example of power sliding. I want to cut inside this Cromwell. Alright, and keep going. Keep the momentum. I found a gap. Now, the enemy tank destroyers have not taken a shot at me, which is good. It means I'm broken through. Alright, now I thought this tree here would provide me with cover, but in hindsight, I was still spotted. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a TOG 2 camping the base. Okay. And I voice my displeasure in chat. Say, really? What the hell's that guy doing up there? Well, he's going to present a problem. And so is that guy. That is a KV-1S. Not the KV-1S of old, though. It's the new KV-1S, but it's still a threat. It's a Tier 5 heavy tank. This is a Tier 6 game. This is quite generous matchmaking for the Luchs. In fact, it's damn good matchmaking for the Luchs. But I was platooning with Tier 5 mediums and tank destroyers, so I was guaranteed to get this thing. Now, here we go again, look. I thought that tree would provide me with cover, so decide not to let the TOG get off scot-free. Put a quick burst into him and back off, and miss that second reprisal shell by the skin of my teeth. Anywho, that side's a no-go, so I need to keep an having a look-see on this side. Keep this KV-1S spotted. Hopefully our artillery, which if you look at the map, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the map, I cannot see that M37, so that M37 is not getting the information from my vehicle. He might be getting the information from the Cromwell, but he's not getting the information from me. Now, this KV-1S decides to go completely full retard. Ladies and gentlemen, you should never go full retard. Especially when I'm sat here with an autocannon, waiting to give you some DACA. And this is the other advantage of multiple shots as well, over the 5cm. You've got more chance of doing module damage. Look how slow that KV-85's the KV-1S is going. That guy's got a busted engine. That guy's engine's bust. I'm just waiting to reload. Here we go, bring on the DACA. It's always better with more DACA. Now, I'm just going to wait to drop off the radar here, and this is my opportunistic late game. Alright, I'm being opportunistic here. There's a nice bush here. I didn't know this bush was here. I do now. I should have gone this side to start with, instead of going the other side. But hindsight's 20/20. Light up all the enemies. Now, have a look at the TOG first. That TOG is looking at me. Alright, I do not want to shoot. I do not want... Oh, okay. I decide to shoot, so fuck it. Take a massive chunk out of the artillery. I just couldn't resist killing artillery. A lot of people do that as well. A lot of people prioritise artillery over other tanks, but I'm not going to go through that TOG completely. All of my shells. So therefore, it was better off to shoot the artillery, get more damage, potentially more module kills. But was it wise to do that while the TOG was looking at me? Oh, God, no. But the TOG's not looking at me this time. Only managed to penetrate 3 of my shells there. 3 out of 10. But any damage is good damage. But I'm spotting the guy. This is the main thing. The real damage here is spotting because, yeah, because KV2. And now's my chance. Alright, the Electo, I've been told, is facing Skippy. The 88 hasn't really been seen for a while, and there's the Electo. Not a problem. I can kill that guy in one clip if all my shells penetrate. It'd be really nice if what Skippy does there, somebody puts a shell in him to start with, right-click aim, pop up behind him, and just empty the magazine into his arse. GG, thanks for coming, little Electo. And then we've got an 88. I'm not entertaining this guy. No chance at all am I entertaining that guy, not from the front. So, back off, let my vision do it, and I'm going to go looking for artillery. Now, this is another thing, proxy spotting. Right, I've mentioned this before in a few previous videos. I know that artillery is going to be hugging this rock, so I'll get within 50 metres of him, and I automatically spot him even though I can't see him, allowing the rest of the team to nail him. Just the 88 then. Now this is the bane of light tanks. This is the thing what happens. Now the T1 Heavy comes up. I want to use this guy as cover. Okay, I can use him as cover. Right, go on dude, go, up you go. I can use him as cover, hopefully shoot the 88's weak spot. 88 puts a shot into him and the T1 Heavy, and I decide, nah, maybe I can get the 88 in the arse. I can probably get him in the ass. Nope. Now I've started to cap. T1 Heavy backs off. Alright, puts a nice couple of shots into the 88, makes the 88 reverse. He's shooting the right spot, he's shooting that guy's weak point. Then the 88 does something that most players do. He sees a light tank on low health. He decides, fuck all those tanks in front of me. I'm going to turn around and go for the light tank. Okay, not a problem. Where's that track? Keep moving, doing a couple of penetrating hits on him, and just absolutely leave him at the mercy of the enemy, of the friendly tank destroyers. GG. Thanks for coming. Well, goes without saying, that was my mastery badge game. Right, let's have a bit of a look-see then. So, 3,500 experience, times 2 for the victory. 36,000 credits. So you can make a fair decent amount of money with these little dinky tanks. Mastery badge, got 5 for effect, cause more damage to enemy vehicles, and bruiser. Team score was the most important one for me. 1,100 efficiency. Sorry, 1,100 base experience. And 1,700 spotting damage in a tier 5 or tier 6 game. Yeah, tier 6 game. That's pretty strong. That's a tog and a half. Or tog and a third. Alright, so not bad. Not a bad effort at all. You should be getting more spotting damage than normal damage with scouts, if you're going on a scouting roll personally, but I think that's pretty good. Anyway, on to the next replay. On to the Leopards then. So, let's see what the Leopard has to offer us. What we've got here is Dye and Iceman. Alright, platooned in their Leopards. Alright. On Kharkov. Now, Kharkov is a map that I haven't really got used to yet. I've only played a few games on it. And Dye's going to show me a really cool part of Kharkov that I've never really explored before. The rose petal down in the far right-hand corner. Now, these two really do put on a show in the Leopard. Even to the point where the enemy team, I don't know why it keeps going to this now, even the enemy team congratulate their performance. So, mobility of the Leopard and the Luchs, very, very similar. As you can see, this thing will quite easily get up to 50, 60 kph, which really does help it get to those early positions quite quickly. Alright. Now, Iceman and Dye sent me their replay separately. The thing is, the two of them pretty much stay together for the whole replay, so I'm not going to use both perspectives. Right, they pretty much stay together and do the same thing. I'm just going to use Dye's. No offence, Iceman, but it's an absolute fucking nightmare trying to do a double replay with my current editing software, so bear with me. Hopefully, later on in the year, I will be buying a decent copy of some editing software. I am only using Windows Movie Maker at the moment. Now, the point of me looking at this particular replay was the rose petal, the area we are in here now. I didn't realise how much cover there was down here. I didn't realise all these lumpy bits were here, which is kind of a big thing for me. I didn't think there was any cover down here, and there's shitloads. If you can get down here in a fast-moving tank in the early stage of the game, I can assume that you do really well versus the guys that come south. Now, the enemy team have pushed the middle. There's hardly any tanks in the south down here. Well, there was an S-35CA there, who's got absolutely annihilated, and an M4, which unfortunately Iceman takes a hit from. But that's it. Now, Dye manages to get a nice decent amount of hits into that ELC there. He hit him for 10 times there, 300 damage, completely average roll. Hitting 10 out of 12 shots, which is really, really good. Might manage to nail him and rinse him, but God knows how much module damage he actually did. Now, there's a bit of banter goes on in the team battle chat here, which, well, I don't really get into that much. I do have the occasional rant and rage, and they decide to kiss. The couple of times when they do that, I'm pretty much... Di kind of lets himself down here a few times where he's driving, kind of goes to pot because he's too busy typing, but... Alright, Iceman, this is the only time they split off. Alright, and Di basically goes for a little bit of drive around the cap circle. So what I am going to do, I am going to cut to Iceman's perspective right now. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to fade out to Iceman's perspective. Clunk. So they've just kissed and made up. This is where Iceman and Di basically split off. I'm not 100% sure why they did this. It can be an advantageous tactic, but I think Iceman... Well, there's a tank trap there. I didn't know they were... I didn't know indestructible, those tank traps. Which is kind of realistic, I suppose. What is this? Wargaming and realism? Never. A VK3601H can be a bit of an issue for a Leopard. Especially frontally. That thing has 100mm of frontal hull armour. Which is very, very, very difficult for us to penetrate. Remember, we've only got 95mm pen. If we've got somebody distracting him, we can do it. He's tracked. And Iceman basically uses this chance to take some shots into the side of the guy's turret. Now, he's not just holding the button down here, he's actually letting it aim in between shots, which is really, really good to see. A lot of people just hold the mouse button down when they're firing things, but the dispersion means that you're going to miss quite a few. What he does there, he lets it aim in between shots, which is really good, and the Cheeto manages to take out the VK3601H. So at this stage then Di's up in the north, okay, and Iceman goes to try and help him. Iceman, I assume, is crying out on TeamSpeak that it's a Stug 3 that's actually looking at him. So what we'll do now is we'll go back to Di's perspective. So it's around about this point then when Di realises he's facing a Stug 3G. Now he's got the zoom out mod, which is a really, really handy piece of modification that you can actually see where that Stug's actually looking. You can tell by the roundness of the front road wheel that the Stug is actually looking at him. So what he decides to do, he screams out for Iceman now. I need to help me, dude. Right, I need you to get here. Alright, let's get here and take this guy out. Because if they double team him, the Stug can only point one way. So hopefully, what he's going to do is sacrifice Iceman here. And then hopefully secure the kill on the back end of the Stug. Alright, but the enemy team are actually capping. So we can't spend too long, alright, faffing around here. Now the enemy team could have won this. They really, really could have won this if they'd had more than one guy in the cap circle. Yeah. Bang, 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 bang. Actually, looking back at it, I'm not sure where that Stug was pointing to start with. Anyway, never mind. We took him out. So what the Leos decided to do, what Di and I decided to do now, is go back and decap. Our team decided to want to cap. Now, this is a question I always get asked. How do you get stats like these two? How do you get half-decent stats like Ice and Di? Well, do as much damage as you can. Don't fucking cap unless you really, really have to. Excuse me for swearing there, but you don't get WN8 and efficiency and things by capping. Alright, well you do, but you don't get as much as what you do for doing damage. Now, friendly team, Slim Jim 31, in fact, why is that thing keep coming up with the names? I want it to be there all the time. Alright, the guy in the VK3601 and the Cheeto really don't like the fact that the two are going back to decap. Alright, even to the stage where he's calling them noobs. Alright. The Dicamax takes out the Cheeto, so there's only the VK in the cap. If the two Leos had sat in the cap, 6 and 2 3s, whether or not they would have actually managed to cap in time before that Dicamax got back, we don't know. Alright, we don't know. I'm going to put it onto the fact that I'd rather do what these guys are doing. They've gone back to cap. A lot of people in games, they basically go all the way down one flank and ignore the fact that the other flank's lost and there's teams in the enemy in the friendly cap circle. They get back, manage to spot the SU-100 and decap. Yeah, now unfortunately we didn't manage to kill the SU-100. We've got mobility and we've got Battle Buddy, who thankfully can take this guy out. Bang. Okay, cap threat dealt with. They've actually, the Churchill 7 has managed to get all the way back to his own base, alright, and kill those two guys that are in the cap. Alright, so we're alone now. We're on our own against 5 enemy tanks. Now thankfully there's 2 of them. If there was one of them, it would be slightly different. Now he just says they're selfish fools. I don't know why. Were they selfish, or were those two just capping at the wrong time? Comments below. Let me know. What do you think? Anyway, we digress. So, now we play the waiting game. And Di's learning that, yeah, tank trappy things, yeah, they're not destructible. What we've basically got to do now is these guys have got to stay around the cap circle. Right, they're outnumbered. Whenever you're doing this and you're outnumbered, don't disappear from your own cap or around your own cap area, because the last thing you want to happen is get halfway across the map and then they start capping again with 3 of them. You're back to square one. So they're sticking around the cap, using their mobility, using their view ranges, and just mooching around, trying to kill as many things as they can as they come towards them. What would you do in the late stage here? Would you be doing this, or would you be disappearing off? Would you split up, or would you stay together? I don't know. Right, what's going to be in the cap this time then? Oh, a flat Panzer and a Dickermax on sod all health. Fantastic. Ice takes out the Dickermax. Die manages to bounce all of the shots on the Panzer 4. But the Panzer 4 only manages to track him. Fantastic. There's 2 more tanks dead. We've killed 6 tanks between us and 2 lights. Fantastic. What we're going to do now is just speed the replay up slightly, because these do basically circle around for a while. Right, let's just speed it up a little bit. The 2 enemy tanks are quite slow. We've got a Churchill 7 and a TOG 2. But as you can see there, the SU-100 is actually saying Leopard's nice. Alright. And the Slim Jim is actually resigned to the fact that these 2 actually do know what they're doing. He just said to them, Churchill killed me at base. So therefore, the Churchill must be still at the base. Now, I think Slim Jim wants them to go to the enemy base. Stupid idea. No, let's stay here. If they want to win, they have to come to us. They have to come to our camp. They have to hunt us down. And we've got the advantage in mobility. Could we make it back from one end of the map to the other in time? Probably. But then we'd lose health doing it, because simply they'd know where we were coming from, or have a good guess where we're coming from. Sit there and wait. Alright. Oh, there he is. Churchill. Fantastic. Die will have been spotted. Iceman won't. The Churchill doesn't seem to have reacted. Now, I don't know why Die didn't take a shot there. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, could have probably put a clip into him there. Never mind. Let us now use our mobility. Wait for the Churchill to disappear. Now, this is the thing about spotting. We spotted the Churchill. As soon as he disappears off the map, we've disappeared off his. So therefore, we can plan our attack, plan our route. We've got bags of time. We've got a minute. We can basically do our thing. So what we're going to do now is use the low ground. Alright, and try and come up in an advantageous position, because the Churchill 7 is quite well armoured from the front and reasonably armoured from the sides with its spaced armour. As you can see there, we only penetrated 3 out of 12 shots. We've still got another TOG to kill. We cannot be wasting ammunition. I've got to conserve ammo. So, hunt for the rear of the tank. The Churchill now is in a whole nestle of trouble. He's got 2 light tanks on him and he doesn't know where to point his cannon. Die's going to go around the back. Iceman pings his reloading, so Die knows he's got an opportunity to shoot at him. Churchill's looking at Die's last known position, which is now a feature of the minimap, which is good. I like it. And we now know that the Churchill isn't looking at us. What we can do is snip up, place a Dakar into his engine bay. Still didn't penetrate all those hits though. Still didn't penetrate all of them. 8 out of 12. Enough to do 240 damage. And we can use the Churchill's gun depression against him. Managed to put one into us, but you know what? 135 damage for a 240 trade. I'm happy with that against a heavy tank. Can we get him? Can Ice get him? Churchill's concentrating on Die. Ice is getting really close. He wants to get as close as he physically can. These autocannons do lose quite a bit of pen. Gets down behind him. 149. Oh, we could kill him here. We don't want to take another hit. No. Troll tracks of the Churchill. Ah. Underbelly, underbelly. No. Okay, Churchill. We should be able to get down below him. There we go. Get down behind him. And unleash the Dakar into him. That was near enough a full health Churchill 7 there, guys. And it's just the TOG left. Now, TOG is a very, very dangerous target. As you see there, the SU-100 saying Leopard's nice, which is always good to see. Whenever your enemy team congratulates you on your play. A TOG could be difficult. 1400 health. That's if he's on full health. I mean, the TOG is going to be one or two places. He's going to be in the middle of the map. He was last spotted in G6. Now, if I was the TOG, I'd be in the cap circle. Now, this is something where the SU-100 lets himself down here. He tells me that the TOG's in C9. Okay, I hate that. They've basically told these two that the TOG is actually in the cap. Now, can you believe him? Well, we haven't seen the TOG. He's just taken the Churchill 6 apart. These two have just taken the Churchill 6 apart, and the TOG hasn't come to help the Churchill 6. So, therefore, he's going to be defending base, which is a good thing in a TOG. You know, the TOG has realised that he cannot take this game by coming to the our team capping. These two will out-cap him. Or worst case scenario, he'll suffer the same fate as Churchill. So he's basically sat in their cap circle. Now, the only other worst case scenario this could be for us is if the guy's on full health. We have got the ammunition to kill him. Dai's got more than enough ammo in his gun to actually kill him. But the Tog only has to shoot Dai twice. And he only has to shoot Iceman. Oh, if he's lucky, if he high rolls him, Iceman's a one-shot. Alright, no he's not. 17 pounds and he got 150. They're both two shots. They're both two shots. And the Tog's got a really good rate of fire. Eesh, and a pretty fast turning turret. Eesh. Anyway, we shall see. So the only worst case scenario could be Tog is actually on full health. What's the bet? Place your bets now. Is the Tog going to be on full health? Will he have done absolutely naff all game? I wonder. Yes sir, you betcha. He's on full health. Oh shit, this is going to take some teamwork. Now, what Dai does here is reminiscent of a really good player. He backs off. Okay, he backs off and gets some distance. Iceman's basically staying here, and Dai's going to go round the back, get some buildings between him and the Tog, come down into the low ground, and come up from a different position. Tog thinks they are both in A7, B7. Not so much anymore. They're basically having to outthink the Tog. Now, Dai's been spotted again. Pretty sure he has. Where's the Tog going to be looking? Can we make it across this? Yes, we can. We can make it across this open ground. He's using the zoom out mod. We can make it across this open ground. Use the speed. Yeah, we've got this now. Two angles. This Tog's as good as dead. Now, I don't really want to showcase this. This poor Tog. So out of his depth. No, you two are going to hell for this. Picking on a lonely, poor defenceless Tog. Tog decided to move out the cap, go after Iceman. This is Tog basically should have carried on. He should have carried on going there. Now you're going to die anyway, brute dude. You may as well try and take one of them with you. But the Tog's looking at Dai, so therefore Dai stays back. As soon as he turns his gun to Iceman. Oh, this is just... Oh. This is just wrong. Wrong in so many ways. Oh. Ice has allowed himself to get shot. But he can circle him. Dai can put the rest of his magazine into the Tog if he's not looking at him. There we go. Tog decides not to look at him. Into the side of the turret. Easily penetrate the side of the Tog's turret. Will Iceman get his top gun? This is the main thing. Tog decides to push Dai. Iceman's going to put a whole Ranger Dacker into his back. And is Dai going to steal the kill? Is Dai going to deny Ice's top gun? Yes, he is. GG boy. GG boys. Post-game stats to come. And there's two lots of battle reports on this one. Two lots of post-game stats. First one's up to Dai then. Alright, it was times 5. Alright, so 5,225 experience. Dai isn't running a premium account at the moment. I don't know if he's lost the enthusiasm with the game, but he would have got 7,800 experience if he'd have had a premium account. Mastery Badge, Fire for Effect, Bruiser, Brothers in Arms, and Defender. Not a bad effort at all. The pair of them, Iceman did better than Dai, simply because he did more damage. But yeah, there's the team score, and yeah, there's not really much else to write up about on the detailed report. So let's have a look at Iceman's stats. And as you can tell, Iceman also doesn't run a premium account. No understanding why. Why don't you run premium accounts, boys? Just wondering. Fighter, Fire for Effect, Bruiser, Brothers in Arms, High Caliber. High Caliber in a gun that only does 30 damage per shot. That's pretty fucking good. Alright, yeah, that would have been a 10,000 XP replay if he'd have had a premium account on that one. But like we said there, 1349 base experience. Both got mastery badges. Yeah. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that review, guys. I'll just do a closing statement, actually. I'll do a little bit of a close to it. I hope you enjoyed that review, guys, of the Luchs and the Leopard. Alright, I enjoyed making it. Right, I will be doing more. Votes in the comments below of the next vehicle you want me to do. Not restricting to the vehicles I've got. I'll just give you a quick scan of my garage. I have quite a few. Alright. Is there anything you particularly want to see reviewed next? I'll let it skip through. I will be doing an E25 review, actually. Probably the next one I'm going to do. But the one after that. Any particular tanks you want for me to have a look at? Alright. I don't mind grinding to another tank if you guys specifically want to see it. But I think my next review will actually be the E25. I've got some really good games of him. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I will be going back to a few more reviews, like I said. Any more suggestions, comments, queries, and all that kind of stuff, stick them in the comment section below. I do read all your comments, guys. If you've got any replays, alright, send them in, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care of yourselves, guys. Bye now.